just wanna be her. For your mom to your pops to the beat to the bird, man. Cut right off on the curve, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my home team. I'ma let it go like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke. No. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke. Dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke. Dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke. Dog. You don't want. I pissed so my frustration. I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the Pacific Northwest, the home of the 12s, as it's called, CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Back, buddy. You can't block me. You can't block me.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Past the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, 77 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Well, this has been a quick strike offense all season long, finding many different ways to manufacture big plays.
They had a big playoff preview today in the papers, and it was about who would set the tone. Oh, they just set the tone right there. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26.
X3, 218, chop. Ready.
Throwing, Jones. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Look at me. Go. Fight.
Finding finds Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And they'll run for it with Barkley. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Oh, he pulls over him. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Go!
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Jones operating from the gun. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down? They'll run with Barkley. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards, good for a giant first down. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Just a couple on the Around there, that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Set. 15, Ronnie. 15, Ronnie. Leo. Get ready.
A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the Giants kicker, Aldrick Rosas. From the right hash, this from 48. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal. You did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays. You don't force any mistakes. You don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Get ready.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now it's Carson. And an alley to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 34.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already. And we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Now it's Wilson. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Carson. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
At the 44-yard line. A gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 9.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's got Lockett. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 16. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down now, it's Carson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming. Wilson being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. A gritty play there. Put his nose down and got his guys a first.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On second down, Barkley, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Hey, Steve 6, Steve 6.
Jones now to throw on third down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it, and he will take this down to the 10-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turn to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Suddenly, it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Check line 33, check line 33. Check pass, check pass. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Go.
From the shotgun, Wilson steps away to his left. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10.
High 7. 54. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. 61. Matchbox lights. Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, Charlie. Right there. Hey, lock it. Right there. 54 Mike. It's coming this way. Coming this way. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Deep rip.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend.
Check, check. Fresno, Fresno, Fresno. Switch.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He'll let it fly for Austin. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
A 1st down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. On 2nd down, it's Carson. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Touch 50.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
You can't block me. Check 13. Check 13. Hey, watch that. Watch
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, Alpha.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Slam, slam, slam.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Mike, check, 59.
Operating from the gun, Jones, flush to his right, and that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Here's Jones. Going to throw again. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
Come get some. Come on, come on.
On 1st down, Carson. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Three bud. Undercrush.
Tempo.
Check 4.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Rolling to his left. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Hey, check Mike 33. Check Mike 33. I got him. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Sponge.
Hey, 0.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson eluding the pressure, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain. Stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. On the draw, this is Barkley. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Watch safety Green. Watch safety Green. Safety's Green. Hold. Shit.
From the gun, Jones. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Pierre Desir. First possession in the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The tackle there by Eli Harold.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game. They're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice, safe throw and a good one.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Giants. Cody Latimer. 54 yards, and the Giants are able to cut into this lead. The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2. They're going to run it with Barkley, and he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. Continuing to fight for more. He's got the lane, and there he goes. He's at the 30, the 20. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. The extra point now coming from Myers. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Jones now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
At the 41-yard line.
2nd and 9 now. Finds his tight end Ingram. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Hey, Haywood!
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54.
Look, squeeze.
Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
Now Jones throwing on first down. Flushed out right. Looking for Shep. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
On the ready.
Mike, 54's Mike.
General West.
54. I'm here all day.
Shoot.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
52's the Mike right here over there, right? 52's the Mike. Strip that ball. Strip that ball.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
They run again with Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now Wilson from the gun. He'll throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Jones throwing to start the drive. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. 20, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. On third down, Carson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with first and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. It's Barkley on the counter. He'll have a first down past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here.
You ain't got nothing.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47.
You got it.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 47-yard line.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Jones gives this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further.
Here, baby. Your trip is here.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw.
I got wide. Mike's 59. Mike.
Hey, Echo.
Come on. You better bring it. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
Fair.
Check.
Hey, exit. Let's go.
Jones now on 3rd down. He's got his man. This is Tate. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Here's Jones throwing on 4th down. And now here is another interception. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Check Mike 33. Stop your whining.
And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.